For generations, wrestling at the prep level has been a boys-dominated sport with participation numbers. Last spring, the Minnesota State High School League established girls wrestling as a varsity sport, and Hastings High School was one of many schools that joined in the making of their own girls wrestling team. Across the state, 250 girls joined their school wrestling teams for the inaugural girls wrestling varsity season. At Hastings High School, there are 7 girls who are a part of the team. One particular has had 2 seasons of experience already. Skylar Little Soldier, who is ranked 7th overall nationally by Team USA, began wrestling with the Hastings Wrestling Club 2 years ago as an 8th grader and has already taken on a leadership role for her fellow female wrestlers.
I think one of our tournaments like Bi-State or Mora, one of our coaches was gone, so Skylar Little Soldier, she stepped in as coach, and it was just we were all cheering for each other and helping each other out, and it was just a really fun tournament. And then Bi-State, same thing, we were just all running around finding each other's matches, just trying to be there and supportive for each other.
Allison was saying, at Mora we were all just, since we didn't have an official coach, Skylar stepped in and we were all just supporting each other, and it was really fun. And then same thing with Bi-State, it was, the girls section of it went by pretty quickly, so we were just running around making sure that everybody was, felt ready for their matches.
Prior to this year, schools had to apply to the Minnesota State High School League for girls to join their wrestling teams. That is how Skylar Little Soldier was able to join the Hastings Wrestling Club as an 8th grader 2 years ago. Now, any girl who is interested in joining wrestling can simply join that team like any other high school sport.
In my first year of wrestling, everything's new. I had no idea what was coming into. I didn't know any of the moves. I just know I wanted to do it, and I really had to use that passion to push me forward. Practice 3 times a day, once during school, once after school, and wrestling practice. And it's really helped me develop my skills, and because I was really struggling at the beginning of the year, and just I wasn't in shape, and I was struggling so much, so I really had to build up to the level.
For many of these girls, wrestling has been a fulcrum to their family lives, as many of their dads and other family members have wrestled competitively in their lifetimes.
What got me into it was my dad, actually. He was a wrestler. He wrestled in college at Iowa. And my little brother, he was 3 when he started. He's 6 now. He's been wrestling for 3 years, so all my cousins wrestled, so I've always been in the wrestling environment growing up. Originally, when I first heard about girls wrestling, I didn't want to do it just because I thought I'd be alone, the only girl, a bunch of guys. Coach Handenberg actually was the one that kept on pushing and convincing me to do it. He even talked to my dad about it, which is what really got it going, because my dad found out about it and then he was pushing me towards it. I ended up joining a week late. I was behind at first, but I quickly picked it up, and it was really fun, and I never realized, I never expected it to be what it is.
Hastings Wrestling Club head coach Tim Hanneberg has been a longtime advocate for getting more girls involved in the sport of wrestling. Now that the team has 7 girls to begin their first season of competition, he and his fellow coaches are excited to train them as the first wave of what he sees to be a very competitive wrestling team.
Yeah, it was kind of funny though, watching our first couple practices, and the girls are brand new. They have no idea what's kind of going on, how the warm-up goes, what's the stance look like, what are we talking about when we talk about a single leg versus a high crotch or a double leg, and what referee's position looks like. So all the kind of terminology that we use, it was really interesting to see how they reacted to that, being first-year wrestlers. But it's also really cool to see how quickly they got used to it. And we got them matches right away, and they were watching a lot of wrestling, and the growth was just exponential right away that happened with them. So they've been doing phenomenal in tournaments. One of the biggest things that we saw, I'll say maybe the turning point in the season, we went down to this tournament in lacrosse called the Bi-State, and our boys were wrestling in it, but then they had a separate girls tournament on there as well. So it was just really cool for the girls to go down to a tournament like that, stay in a hotel, watch wrestling for a whole day and a half, and then they got to compete at the tournament alongside with the boys. One of the coolest things for me too, once again, was watching those girls, how they treated each other and how they cheered each other on and supported their teammates. So after every match, they're taking the girls aside and talking to each other, helping them out. We're going through techniques and, hey, this is what this girl did, this is what we can improve here, and we just kind of improved all together.
Hanneberg is very optimistic about the growth of girls wrestling following this season for Hastings. Having 5 9th graders in this inaugural squad creates great opportunity for recruitment in the years to come, and eventually creates the role of female coaches as well.
hopefully, in my mind, if we could go about 3 to 4 girls, new girls, added on top of this every single year, I would think that our growth would be really good in town. So with 7 girls right now, we're going to lose 1, so we'll be down to 6. Hopefully about 3 to 4 new ones, so we get to the 10 mark and then keep on going from there. So that's kind of what we're shooting for about 3 to 4 girls every single year. And the girls we have right now, like I said, 5 of them are freshmen, and they're going to be the best recruiters that we've ever had. They're going to get out there and tell the other girls what they were scared about with wrestling, what was good about it, how they're going to use this for the rest of their lives. So they're going to be the best recruiters we have as well, and they're going to get a lot of other girls involved in it as well. As state as a whole, we've seen some enormous growth take place. I think right now we have over 200 new girls that are in the sport right now compared to last year, and I think that growth is going to keep on taking place every year, and soon enough it's going to be on par with the boys' numbers as well.
And I hope it grows over the years because it's really cool to see like other girls and like going to events and stuff and wrestling girls, like because in past years when girls would wrestle, they would wrestle against guys, and now it's like a girls team, and it's different.
The girls wrestling squad will be competing in the first all-girls state tournament for wrestling this weekend in Pine Island, as the event begins at 10 a.m. Saturday. For HCTV, I'm Theodore Tellefson.